I'm watching Honest Bunch, this debate about feminism and all of that with Chidera and this guy. I don't know his name. Maybe I'll remember in the course of this video. But I mean, to be honest with you, I was very impressed that she even showed up for that conversation, because let's be honest, some societies are not even evolved enough to have this kind of conversations. And what piqued my interest was the fact that I do not think a lot of people know what feminism is. In plain English, feminism is equal opportunity for all. Feminism is not telling you how to run your house. That's your decision. As we speak, on my street where I live, there are women who are going to work and the men are at home. That's your decision. There are women who are cooking, cleaning, getting loads for their husbands, and the men are just head of the family. That's their decision. As you see me, I don't go to anybody's house to tell them how to run their lives. That is their decision. Now, they talked about so many things, but the fundamental part is a lot of people don't know what feminism is. Now, let's start with Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze talked about how his father used to provide 90, I think he said 95% or 95 or 98%. And the mother would serve him, would bring a towel and do all of that. Good. We had an era where things were done that way. Is that recommended? No. Is that ideal? No. Do you want to do it? Why not? Why not? If you want to do it, do it. But the point is, if a man says because he provides money in a family, he suddenly becomes handicapped, then what is the compensation for the woman who brought a life? Because I would also grab 50-50 if I was not going to give birth. If I'm not giving birth to any child, I will pay my 50%. Why wouldn't I do that? Since we are counting everything we do in a relationship, why wouldn't I do that? I will do it. But if I am bringing a life into that relationship, where is my compensation? Where is the compensation for all the people that have died? All the women who died bringing people into this world, not to even think of the fact that you are on that podcast, a woman brought you. Where is her compensation for it? So you'll see that when we reduce feminism to relationship, it is stupid, because when you look at it, there are some things that you cannot pay for. It is just a part of relationship. Now, if Chidera comes and says that I do not do this in a relationship, this is my thing, this is what a man must do for me, she is speaking for Chidera. And that is what feminism has done. Feminism has given you a right to have a choice. You now have a choice. So I will not understand why when people speak about their personal preferences, everybody talks about feminism. I just think people tend to, label feminism to be this negative connotation so that people can abandon it. Because I live overseas and I now know what racism is, this is how I see it. In fact, most of the time, a lot of oppressors are too afraid to give up their throne. They are so afraid of it because, if you're benefiting from something, why would you want to give it up? And so, feminism is being thrown in the faces of women as something so negative that you should disassociate yourself from. And so, it's almost like, oh no, I'm not a feminist. I'm not this. I'm not, like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? Well, that's not it. Everybody has their personal preference. Even before the term feminism, there were women who did things in certain ways. And that's life, because this life is animal kingdom. Everybody takes advantage of the next person. The whole thing is you find what works for you, and that is it. Now, as somebody who schooled in America, because that's what the guy said, he said he schooled in America, it's disappointing for him to say he likes patriarchy. If you schooled in America, please, why are you not in America? We all know why. If you've lived overseas, I'm sure he knows why he's not in America. And this is why a lot of people will say, oh, I brought my wife overseas and she's not coming back with me. The reason why your wife is not going back with you to Africa is because in Africa, there is no room for women. And so the reason why you schooled in America and you ran back to Africa where you like patriarchy is because it's in Africa that men are kings, that black men are kings. So if you really look at it, everyone is looking for a society that benefits them. That's the truth. So when you really, really think about it critically, the reason why anybody would like patriarchy is because they are benefiting from it. There were other points that were made on this podcast. They talked about how overseas, the girls pay 50-50 and things like that, and Nigerian men don't pay 50-50. First of all, I think Nigerian men need to stop with this narrative, and I've said it on my channel severally, this narrative is the biggest, like, it's such a lie. It's such a lie. Now, I have never paid on a date in my life, yeah, but I have never gone out of my house because I wanted to eat, which is one. Number two, I have just sons. God forbid that I raise sons who are so bothered about a plate of food. Like, what kind of a person are you? And thank God I am on camera. I have male friends who will come out and say, Maureen has done something for me. So meaning, unlike men, I do not need to sleep with you to give you my money. I do not need to sleep with you to do something nice for you. But you see, many men, now I'm going to give it to Nigerian men, many of them can help without anything. To an extent. To an extent. But most times, a man would help you because he wants something more. So, the thing is, I think before we even have this conversation, we need to talk about our nature as people. The truth is, you have men who are effeminate. By effeminate, it means that they share some feminine characteristics, and those men will give credit to them. But majority of men, I don't want to use the word selfish, but they don't think outside of themselves. So which is why it's always take and take and take. You give birth to me, you cook for me, you clean for me, you do everything for me. And then when I go to work, it's okay. Without realizing that the scale is not balancing. It's not, you understand? Because a lot of women are actually even happy to do all these chores and do all these things. But what else comes with it? Are you cheating on her? Are you shouting at her? Are you abusing her? Are you going to suddenly show up one day with a woman from nowhere and kick her out? Because these are stories that prompted the rise of feminism. The fact that these men, because they had the economic power, they could do whatever it is they liked, and these women were trapped. That's the genesis of feminism. Feminism didn't just come from anywhere. And for people who keep saying, like, I think his name is Pharoah, he said that it's been that way from the beginning of time. That's so not true. There was a time when the world was matriarch. Even Africa, before colonialism and all, women played a vital role. In African tradition, women play a vital role. That's why many African traditions will honor your mother. They will tell you that if you disregard your source, it will not be well for you. So meaning women play a vital role. So when you say, oh, men are responsible for all the things in this world, for the things that were built, they're not talking about you. You're not the man they're talking about. We're talking about, can you see Africa? Can you see the way Nigeria is? We don't have light. We don't have road. We don't have water. In a world where people are going to space, people are in Europe, they are shifting from fuel to electricity. You are talking about, you are counting what white men have done as your own achievements in Africa. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. It's so crazy when I see a black man who is fighting for freedom, especially one who could not stay in America, who had to jackpot back home, saying, we created the things in this world. Are they talking about you? This is no shade, yeah, but factually, to the best of my ability, the only thing we have been able to do is consume. When we jackpot, maybe we have people who invent, but as long as Africa is concerned, we've only been consumers. So when you're talking about the men who have invented something, why are you including yourself? Why is that even a point in the conversation? Let's be honest. That's not even a point. And when you say you like patriarchy, it's not going to change. There will be no time where it's going to change. Even if a woman becomes a president, the cabals are going to be men. I mean, for me, I think what was disappointing about the conversation was the fact that this is somebody who had schooled overseas. This is somebody who is learned, like you are learned. There are some opinions that you should not have. And the fact that everyone still does not get the fact that feminism only gives women the choice. So if you see a woman who does not want to give birth, who does not want to get married, that is her problem. It does not affect you in any way. So if you find yourself feeling bad or feeling sad or getting angry over a woman's choice, then that is a problem. Because if your guy tells you, oh, guy, I don't want to marry, you will not be angry. You won't be mad. If your guy says, oh, I don't want born pikin, you won't be mad. You will reason it with him. But the reason why you are upset that a woman is saying this is because you feel, one is gone, no. Because when you look at it, really, marriage is more like free labor for a lot of men. Whether you believe it or not, a lot of men tend to get married because of the benefits that comes from it. The fact that you have somebody cleaning your house, taking care of you, providing companionship. And before you say, but don't women also need that companionship? It's been proven over and over again that women can stay on their own simply because women are better at friendships and women naturally have community around them. So which is why in marriages, most times the man is actually the one benefiting from it. These things are proven, these things are there. It's just that on my channel, I don't come out and start pulling numbers only when it is necessary. But these are things you can check. So when you come and you say, women have more money than men because one person has 5 boyfriends, like, why are you projecting? How many people can keep 5 boyfriends? And then you say, a woman, you know what? See, let me just leave it here because I won't stop talking, but just let me know what you think in the comment section.